everyone, here and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host, Tom Quee. Really happy for you to join me today because I've got a great guest, someone that I've been a fan of for ages, someone who has been through such a journey in battle rap, such quality of performances and writing. Really excited to get into chat with Raptor. Before I do, though, of course, follow the show at Battle Rap Resume. We've got our Patreon there. If you want to listen to the interviews before they come out, you want to give back to the show, you want to help the show grow, you can donate on the Patreon. Thank you so much. The link's in the description. Got the email as well, battlerapresume@gmail.com. Comment, just get in touch with the show. Let me know what you like, what you dislike, who you want to see come on. We're nearing the 100th episode now. I'm kind of having as you noticed, of having big guests that I've just needed to have, like you and like Raptor, just these people that, are, legends in the contemporary sense, incredible guys. And Raptor, how's it going, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm looking forward to getting into some well-needed discussions about certain things, man. So yeah.
I mean, definitely. So I think you tweeted about 2 weeks ago. You needed to get off your chest on the show.
Just like not even. I did mean like just the don't flop situation there. Right. I meant just like things like now I'm coming to the end of like my career, as you call it now. Things that I've just always wanted to say, over the years, but didn't want to while I was active, like kind of thing,
And I mean, just before we get into that in particularly, like in general, Raptor, what are your thoughts on like people retiring in battle rap and retirement in battle rap as a thing?
Well, like you say, I don't really call it retiring. I just like call it packing it in, really. But it's hard, man, especially when you're passionate and you love battle rap as much as I do, man. Like I've tried to get away like 4 times, and every time, man, I've been offered a battle what's fucking enticed me and made me want to like step back in. Or then, for example, like with the last battle, Gjonaj, that was the plan, was to stop at that. But because I put in such a bad performance, man, I kind of didn't want to go out on that. Yeah. So I took the ProJ battle to like kind of make up for it, I suppose.
We go back a long way, really, with yourself. Like, because you've been in Don't Flop so much, I guess you'd be forgiven to think you started there or whatever. But obviously, there's deep roots. And Wrapped in Wire. I mean, talk to me about Wrapped in Wire, a pretty old school but quite important league.
I was Wrapped in Wire. Jeez, I think that was like 2010, 2011 times. But yeah, it was just like a battle league what a Villun had set up. And it was like not long before that, a few years before that happened, I'd no-showed Don't Flop twice, so I was banned from Don't Flop before I'd even battled. So like kind of no league would touch me because like I had a few no-shows against my name, and like Villun like kind of gambled on me and booked me, and then it just kind of went from there, really. Like they just used to do an event a month and stuff, and yeah, man, it was fun, but it was just more like 25 guys in a pub, like the same people every single event, like one fan. It was just a room full of battlers, really.
Yeah. There's no like culture per se, was there? It was just sort of, I don't know, felt a bit. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But before this, like yourself as a rapper, like when did you first get into rap?
I started writing my own stuff when I was 15. I started on grime because I was like back then that I was in, like it was like Wiley and Dizzy were all like running the scene and Really Deep and all these man. So I met 2 twins on my estate. So big up Sketch and Diz. Make sure you check out their stuff, Too Incredible. And it was them actually who like taught me how to write my own material and stuff. It was them who taught me how to multi-syllabic write and stuff. So like it kind of all stemmed from when I was like 15, yeah.
And like who were the big influences for you musically as you were sort of writing?
Well, obviously Eminem was one of the main reasons I listened to rap, because when I started listening to rap, it's when Eminem just started like blowing, like pure say, like taking over the world kind of thing when I was like 10, 11 years old. So he was like the man. Yeah. But a lot of my idols and inspirations are even rappers though, like Freddie Mercury.
Right.
Big influence and big inspiration of mine. Like that's where I kind of love getting the performance, like side aspect of my game from him.
Oh, really? I never would have connected those dots, man. But that's very cool.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury, man. There's like kind of a few, but yeah, it was mainly more Eminem who made me want to rap at the beginning, and then when I got into rap, I wanted to hear more rappers, and that's when I like kind of started expanding onto your Nazis and your Big L's and your puns and your Biggers and your Packs. And then so on, and the more the newer artists came out, I just started listening to them too, and it was just all from there. Yeah, but I'd say M was the main influence.
And the name Raptor, was it always Raptor?
Yeah, it was. It was the same twins who gave me that name as well.
Right.
It was like once they kind of like got me right, and he went like, "Right, well, we need a name for you now." And one of them just went Raptor, and it was just like, "Yeah, okay, fuck it, I'll doing it." And then I always wanted to change it because as I got older, then I wasn't 15 no more, so it was like that's a fucking like kind of shitty name. So, but I'd also gathered that much of a reputation that I didn't want to change from Raptor in case the fear of not being new or was, kind of thing. And hence why I double barreled the name and like kind of put my surname on it to like, make it mine a bit more.
Yeah. I don't mind the name Raptor, actually. It's quite effective, I think. It kind of sums up your style in an odd way.
Yeah, I think as a battle rap name it is, but I think I'm more of an artist name. It's more like it's more like a grime name. I don't think it's got that appeal to it. Per se.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. So we'll get to the first battle proper here, Raptor. This is your tryout against Broxide.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
This is your first battle on cam, is that right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, no, mind you, it wasn't.
Oh, right.
Well, if the footage is still about of me in the actual clash, there's still footage of the battle, but I don't think, or is it? Is my part in it? But yeah, I was in a group called Military Mob with these said twins and like a few other artists from Boston, and we battled Shotty and his group. Like no one knows it, but yeah, like me and Shotty have like battled years. I must have been like fucking 16, and he was part of a group called Well, you weren't part of him. He was like there older. There was a group called Up North, and like he kind of came over with them, and then next minute Shotty's jumped in and just like fucking killed us all.
What is your relationship with Shotty? How long have you known him?
Fucking hell, now about 15 years or something.
Wow.
Like he used to live around the corner. So as I was a bit younger than him, I'm like 4 or 5 years younger. So I used to play football and used to see him knocking about the estate. And then when he started rapping and he knew I did, that's when he kind of like nurtured me a bit and took me under his wing and that. And then he just like kind of watched me go. And then that's when he made Mosh Team, and then he come back and like brought me in as well with Illa and Briggs and Words and them, man. So, but yeah, I've been shot years and years and years.
I mean, like, are you still Mosh Team to any extent, or?
No, there is no Mosh Team at all. No, like Shotty's doing his own thing, as you know. He's still with Dad Mouse and that.
Yeah.
Like we still got love with like we all love each other still, you know what I mean? We all still started to each other and shit. But yeah, as for Mosh Team as a music thing, then yeah, it's just totally done.
First off, big up a Villun on the chance to bow. Boy, I got enough appreciation. But if you think that I respect you, bitch, you must have been mistaken. Because I'm here to crush your dreams before this cunt has even chased them. And leave him in the grass like he has took the police a statement. Because you look genetically warped. Don't very abnormal medical flaws are menacing for him. Look, Broxide's very deformed.
But, I mean, this is a battle an interesting one for loads of reasons. One of the ones, do you remember the quality of it? It's kind of good quality, but almost kind of a bit stale, kind of in the way it's done.
Which? The Broxide?
The Broxide one, it's kind of not really got any direction behind it.
No, it's like I say, it was my first battle, like proper first a cappella rap battle. I'd never done, so I was bad. Broxide was bad, the setup was bad, the camera was bad, the venue was bad, everything was just bad about it. I can't watch that stuff back, me, man. That's why I was like, yo, Villa, please take them fucking battles down for me, please. And he did.
There's nice aggression from you in the first, though. Like, you are well rehearsed. You're here to crush his dreams before the cunt even chases them.
Shit, I can't remember. I said that. I can't watch them battles back.
No, I mean,
certain battles of mine.
Like Raptor, you have that certain style where you kind of you warp an idiom or a turn of phrase around something to an insult really well. And you say in the first, that much ahead of himself, he could suck his own dick.
Pause. But yeah. I said that and I meant that.
Yeah. I mean, you are good in this first, man. I mean, seriously, quite impressive. And, I mean, Broxide, he was a bit dense, his writing. Do you remember much of him?
I can't, no, not really. Yeah, I can't, no.
Blocked him out. Okay. He's,
he kind of,
kind of just chokes in his second as well. Wasn't kind of that good, and you're not bad throughout. Really, you get a lot of reaction, and the crowd kind of rock off you. But was it a case of being more comfortable on beat at this time, or?
Yeah, well, I think that's what always helped me when I come into a cappella battle rap is the fact that I can rap, and I am a rapper before a battler. So I think the best way I say it to people is like I can get reactions off like just standard bars by the way my delivery and and my conviction of certain things, and it's just through the ability of being a rapper. Like you'll know like when you watch other battlers who are great writers, you know what I mean? Because if I spat Frankie Fraser's shit, then I'm fucking title shot.
Right.
That's the way I can put it. Because there's just having that ability to rap. And I think if you're a natural rapper on beat before you battle, and you see the difference, like with like C Major, his delivery and his structuring of his writing, and that's incredible, and it helps you being able to rap on a beat. In my opinion, but I think that's what kind of helped me with the Broxide battle is that I'm studying like in this league at Raptor where there's no rappers really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably the only person who could rap in the room, so it kind of like blew the mind anyway, hearing the flows and the aggression and stuff. So yeah.
So you definitely felt like the kind of big fish.
Not in the Broxide battle.
No, but
then, I think like my second battle then was the Villun one, which I lost, and then after that I battled, and then I went unbeaten. Then I think it was like 4 battles. It was like Sean O'Mac, Nulo, fucking a 2-on-2, and somebody else, but that's when I started getting to grips with it then coming towards the end.
Yeah. So in November of 2012 you team up with Legalize versus Nulo and Bizzo. I haven't seen that one. Do you remember much of that clash?
Yeah, I remember little bits of it. I just remember I hate watching him back.
Right.
I hate watching myself back.
No,
I kind of like it though as well, because it kind of shows the growth and the improvement over a period of 5 years, man. So in a way, I kind of like seeing them there, but then I can't watch them back. But I remember bits of that battle, yeah. I remember saying something about how long his head was and then doing an impression of him.
Right.
And then, yeah, kind of gone from there.
And one of your sort of early runs that got people excited about you, it's certainly how I discovered you, and some of my favourite, Raptor moments are on Words of Weapons. When you kind of transition to this league. What did you know about this league? And I guess more specifically, what did you know about Chronicle before you did the Future Battle?
Well, again, I got booked for Words of Weapons a couple of years before I made my debut, and then I got nipped and I went to jail in it.
Right.
So I couldn't do the battle, and so I obviously pissed Con a bit, and then, but yeah, like, he'd seen a couple of the Raptor Wire battles, and he's hit me up and gone like, because Con always knew. That's what Con said all along. I know once you do, you know what I mean, you're going to be a fucking star, because he could see like just the raw ability of rapping. He knows like that's why it was missing when I came. I don't feel like there was no rappers hardly in the league. We're not established enough for me. So Chronicles hit me up and he's just said like, "Yo, we'll give you last chance saloon for you in it," and then that's when he booked the Future battle.
And Raptor, fair to say, someone like Future is just amazingly talented rapper.
Yeah, he is. He was great, man. That's why I agreed to battle him, because when he sent the name over, I checked out a few like little freestyles, and he'd already done a battle on the league. And yeah, I was like, yeah, let's have it. I didn't think it'd be as good as the battle was, to be honest. I didn't, because I walked away from the venue not happy with it.
Right.
Like, because I thought I've just lost that. It totally burnt me out. But I knew he was going to lose. You'll see, like when just as Con announces a decision, my right hand just points to him, and because I just knew he was going to win that battle when he shouldn't have. But
right.
Like, yeah, man, I didn't expect it to like go as big as it did, though.
Yeah, it's gone huge. Like Raptor, I always think like you know a video is a big video if it gets a lot more than its subscriber base. So Words of Weapons has quite a reasonable 23,000 subscribers. Very good for quite a minor channel. This video has 344,000 views. This is like a hugely viewed video by, no offense, two fair no names at this point, like, in the world stage, but it got a lot of recognition.
Yeah. Well, what blew it up was like when the battle dropped, it was like getting like just a decent amount of views. You know what I mean? It's climbing up in the thousands, a few. But then shared it. Right. And, like, tagged me in it, and then it ended up in all like the Don't Flop forums, and used to have the actual online forum. It was in Viewpoint. That's when all like the Don't Flop battlers are seeing it and sharing it, and that's what kind of like helped it grow. Because then after like a week, then it was on like 40,000.
Yeah, that is that.
So I think it was like the attention of like Don't Flop and all the battlers and staff in there and like gassing it up and that.
Right.
And they like blew it up more.
Okay. Yeah. That definitely makes sense. I was probably no doubt part of that because I can't remember how I discovered it, but I remember finding it and then watching like You versus Matter and just being very, really excited, like, and energized by like your style and this future battle. I went to this venue. I saw you battle Jackers, which we'll get onto. I lived in Manchester at the time when you were battling there, so it was great to see that. And this venue, this sound control venue, kind of just around the sort of northern quarter, it was a great like sort of little studio bunker, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a good venue. I used to like it there. Yeah. And that's what suffered Words of Weapons is when they changed from that venue. We started doing them like on the outskirts of town, in like Cold Tower, in Fallowfield and stuff like that. Because of the event of Battle Future and the event of Battle Matter were rammed in. They were both in that venue, and as soon as he changed after that, and Jacobs was as well. But then after that, he changed and it went away. But yeah, it was a perfect venue for Words of Weapons. What they were doing with no mics, and it was perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I remember going as well, and one of the exciting things about being at a Words of Weapons event was, you had loud grime between the acts, and like occasionally just ciphers would just spring up in the crowd while people are waiting. Like, so much talent at those events. Yeah,
and I think like that's why the ciphers always kick out. Because like I say, when you go to a Words of Weapons, all these are rappers. Even though they're battling, they're all on beat. You know what I mean? They're all used to rap into a beat, so they just want to rap. So that's why the ciphers don't surprise me at events like that. Because I do it when I hear a beat, I just want to rap. Because that's what I do.
And Raptor, like, if battling has shown one thing, it's quite hard to record an on-beat battle and make it sound really good on YouTube. Like it's very difficult. The sound balancing on Words of Weapons, I think is probably the best that's ever happened.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same. I no on-beat league has ever touched them, especially from the Future and the Matter battles. The audio, it's on point. It's like it's been recorded and edited in a studio. At times it's perfect with a beat. There's no, there's nothing. It's just crisp.
Yo, let's get something clear. I got nothing to fear because you're not fucking hearing this muppet in there. Now I'm second up a gear, but a couple of beers. I bet this motherfucking queer's valid button his pierce. I can picture this dude in a number of years. Some fucked up boots, food stuck in his beard. Have you top must rude while you're looking so weird? You been hooked up too by somebody in here? Well, it must be your hooders for your thing, innit? Been dipping little scruffs from a shit village. Shit spears when I vibe with the kids finish. Get hit with an infinite arsenal of sick lyrics like a school of a vine as a kid's vicious. Leaving nothing but a carcass in 6 minutes. This dim-witted retard that I've been dissing. Watch you put him on his ass and my fist hit him.
Yeah. It really is the gold standard. There's like, not to get too technical because I'm not that technical with it, but it has like a reverb to it. It feels kind of live. It's kind of hard to explain, but it doesn't feel kind of static. It doesn't feel like I don't know. It does feel like that literally it's like playing to what there is, and it's very strong. Also, I remember a battle I saw that was really good. Future versus FOS. The production of that is great as well. That's a fucking great battle. But at the start of your first, you say that you don't do grime.
Yeah.
That kind of became a slogan, kind of, in later battles.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't do grime. I could do it, but that's what like that meant was like because I started writing on grime, but that was only for like a year, and then I switched to hip hop like straight away because that's what I was always grew up on hip hop. But these twins that were met were grime, so I started out on their stuff, and then I rapped for 4 or 5 years, and then that was like the first time I went back to doing grime was a Future battle, so. It was like, I don't even do grime, but I'll still put you up.
And we get a lot of, and I love them, name flips. Michael J. Fox coming back for you, Future.
Yeah, I like that bar.
I mean, what is the writing process for you? Is it just kind of jotting down, brainstorming, or?
Every battle's different, to be fair. Some people are hard to write for, some people it just springs to you, and it depends on you as well. Then, as what mood you're in, right? If you're in the mood for a battle, then it's easier to write. Which I'll get into that later anyway, because I'll go into depth about that on the subject, touching up with that. But my writing process changes every time. But the way I write is, I'll think of a punchline, like the haymaker, and that's me start. I start from the bottom. You know what I mean? I work me up, and then I'll list motives. with which rhyme with the punch, and then I'll try and punch with a multi. You know what I mean? So say when I've got one multi there, I'll think what kind of punchline with that, you know, and then I'll list them one, and you know what I mean, until I can structure it. That's one way I write. But yeah.
And in this first round, I mean, you're just really commanding, like, the way you ride the beat, it's just effortless.
Yeah, like I say, that's my forte, man. I've always rapped. I was a rapper before a battle, you know what I mean? I think I make better music than I do battle, so that's what it was. So it was like you say, it was effortless because that's what I was used to. Like, but when I went to a cappella battle, that's when you have to change, you know, because that was different to me. So that was me going into new waters, but on beat, man, that's my shit. I'm just natural.
And a lot of people who would have watched from Don't Flop coming to this battle may have been a little surprised because Future, as is the sort of Words Weapons way, he gets like a reload pretty much over saying nothing in his first. You never turned up last time, EJet. Shook last time, I could see that. And then, but I mean, what's your opinion on that kind of thing?
It's grime, innit? Because like you look at the crowd, man. It's a young crowd and stuff like that, and because these are grime heads, they listen to grime, and grime's not intricate. You know what I mean? There's very few grime artists who can be intricate and like, you know, translate to battle rap. Like you see it. A good example I could give is like when you watch me and Future battle on beat. And you can see that we're both natural like that. Then when we both went to Don't Flop, my debut was good. You could see I could also translate to battle rap. I needed a bit of work, but you could see I was naturally made to rap off beat as well. But Future's tryout, you know what I mean? He was terrible when he tried to come to a cappella battle rap because he's a grime MC. He's not a rapper. You know what I mean? He didn't know how to write for it. He spat in grime mode and everything. You know what I mean?
Tox was good. Tox was good in that battle as well. It was a shame actually because there's quite a lot of talent from Words of Weapons. I'm thinking of FOS and Jackass, and like none of them seem to bed anywhere else better than Words of Weapons.
Yeah, they've all been on Don't Flop. That's what I'm saying. Like they can rap on a beat, but they can't write for a cappella rap battle. You know what I mean? So put them on beat clashes, and you know what I mean, they smash it. But it's a different fucking kettle of fish. It took me a year up until we battled with Big Kannon to really grasp how to break people down and you know and with wordplay and double entendres and metaphors and stuff. It took me a year to grasp that.
I mean, your second for me, like I think this was the first battle I saw of you. The first, I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I was like, you know, I really like this guy. The second's what cemented it really, with just lots of great lines and flows as well. The whole animalistic as your family business. You know, real kind of great snappy stuff. So instead of learning his bars, he's been working at the farm, literally clutching at straws.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they get no reaction because, like I say, it's on a grind beat, so they don't catch it. They're not listening for that. They just, like you say, they just want your mum's tits hang down to the floor.
Right. But I mean, they can't resist the whole hood is real, Huddersfield, know how a cow's udders feel.
Yeah,
like that.
That's great.
That's crazy. That is, man.
Yeah, I love that.
Always, that's like, always love that bar. And yeah, Future's great as well. Like, you know, crazy stuff from you in the second. Just vicious flow, the whole blow off your head like a dandelion bit.
Yeah.
You know, just and then
yeah. Lots
of insult stuff. A cunt looks like a Sunday roast. You say?
Yeah, I did. That's like a Sunday roast.
And yeah, Future does take it, but I mean, you know, obviously the big views show that it's a classic for both of you, really. And, you know, I urge people, if they haven't checked out this early Raptor classic, and just to kind of touch on the rest of the Words of Weapon stuff briefly, you went on to battle Jackass, who, I mean, props to Jackass as well. He's a slept-on talent.
Yeah, he's crazy on the beat, Jackass, yeah. He is. He's good, man.
Quite a controversial battle where he grabbed your hat.
Yeah. I told him, don't touch me out, please. Don't touch my fucking hat, man.
And I mean, obviously, before this was arguably a battle that, okay, didn't get as many views, but probably had a bit more of a power moves for you against Matter.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, man, great showcase for both of you. Like, mostly a hip-hop battle as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was like 2 hip-hop beats and a trap beat. So, but yeah, I love that battle. It's one of my favourites I've done. Because like you say, that was like I'd not even made me Don't Flop debut, and I was booked for it. That was a week later, you know what I mean? Right. So I was battling Young Guns Fusion a week after Matter, so I had all Don't Flop eyes on me anyway from that battle, you know. And it was such, like you say, with my second battle, of it being someone as established as Matter, man, it was a great look and it was a great test for me, man. So I was just so happy that I rose to the occasion and delivered on that day.
And I mean, words of weapons wise, after Jackers, was the bridge just severed, or?
What's that?
I mean, were you just kind of like not going back? Were you and Kron on speaking terms, or?
No, yeah, like we just had a fallout in it, so I kind of just like fucked him off and just battled solely for Don't Flop then.
Right. I mean, there was the Pedro battle, but that was around the same time, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's the one where we... No, it wasn't even that. There was one after that. There was Verb T. I battled Verb T on beat.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah, that did. Yeah, I haven't actually watched that one, but...
Yeah, the audio was absolutely terrible, so it suffered a lot. Like, the views are like low on it and stuff, because there's just no replay value to it at all, but it was a good battle. But yeah, and then that's like when we had the fallout from then, and that's when I never battled for him again.
And it's like, when you go onto your verse tracker page, Raptor, like so many other ones, it sort of tells the story of you through thumbnails and dates. And we see that, you know, Future comes out in February 2014. In March, there's Matter. In April, there's Raptor. In April, there's Jekkus. And then in May, there's Young Guns Fusion. So, you know, you transfer to Don't Flop and then kind of pretty much stay there for a few kind of, you know, away days. How was the olive branch extended to you?
Hit me up after like when he shared the Future battle, and then like booked me for the tryout with Young Guns. Then obviously I put in a decent performance when I got a 3-0. So then, but it was the hype that I came into Don't Flop with, like, because it was when Don't Flop was in a bad time doing that Raise the Bar tour. And it was like suffering a bit. It was losing all the hype. It was all the tryouts that were coming through weren't good and that, man. So then when my name came across because of the hype I had from the Future battle and the Matter battle, man, it was like, yo, this is the next star, you know what I mean, kind of thing. So then after the Young Guns battle, man, he was just throwing battles at me every month, man, and kind of like pushed me in too soon, you know what I mean? He oversaturated me a bit. So that's when we had like the 6-month break after the Villun battle and then came back to the Kannon performance, and then that's when I was ready, man.
I mean, it is worth dwelling on the sort of oversaturation because it's mad. So, for Don't Flop, we had Young Guns in May, then Lady Shocker in June, Gem in June as well, and then July was Pedro, July was also Sleepy, August was Quill, October was Skirmish, November was Villun. Like, that's a boot camp of bars.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's why some of the performances suffered. Because I was doing too many battles too soon, but I was just hungry, you know. I had the fire in my belly, man, and my name was bubbling, my name was going. I was just trying to keep it alight and just keep pushing it out there, man. But I put too much work on myself, and I kind of like suffered like with a Sleepy battle, even though it was like 3 days prep, and then like the Quill battle, that could have been better. And then like the Villun battle was decent, but you could see like I wasn't intricate and you know when we writing and stuff, I was more just rapping that battle, and then that's when I took the break, watched a bit of battle rap, watched people, you know, and came back with the Kannon stuff, and that's when I think me personally, that's when I learned how to battle from that battle then.
I mean, we can't move on without reflecting quickly on the Gem battle.
Causing alarm and stress, it's Armageddon. Is the killing gonna start again? I'll scar your flesh, carve bars in your chest and fucking stab you with a Parker pen. You see, let me tell them why your Gemini is represented by the twins. It's cause they're known for a split personality, meaning there's a different side to him. So behind this image lies a kid who's really all polite and shit. So the image he portrays isn't a portrait, it just shows the portraits of a lying bitch who's trying to fit inside a clip not right for him. Hey, you see, this is all just an act to show for the crowd. Well, this is how I act when no one's around. It's true facts. Just you ask anyone who knows what I'm about, they'll tell you, don't fuck around, cause you could get a fucking hole in your face before you've even opened your mouth, bitch.
What's your favourite memory from that battle?
From the one that's just happened?
No, from the original one of this era, yeah.
I don't know, I loved the old battle, I loved everything about it. Yeah, crazy battle. I was so happy because it kind of like catapulted both our careers. That man, it took us from like virtually newcomers to down to like pretty much top tier. But yeah, it was a crazy battle, man. And the decision was right, man. I would give it 2-1 Gem as well, man. I think I walked the first, and I think he took the second, and then he walked the third.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it, Raptor? Like, if you judge battle rap purely on statistics, like wins and losses, Gemini's got to be one of the best don't flop guys ever.
Yeah, he's unbeaten.
Like, he's literally unbeaten. Like,
it was only him and Luna who were unbeaten.
And it's like, you can't. It's so hard to argue against because obviously he's so fucking good anyway. But it's like, it's true. Like, you kind of can't dispute it. So, shout out to Gem. But yeah, I mean, just hella.
I said it in the rematch, man. Yeah. That's what I said to him. Like, you're unbeaten because he is, man. It's facts.
Yeah. It's it's fucking crazy, man. So you say during the break, you kind of recouping, you were watching battles. Like, were you still writing? How was your kind of prep, or were you literally taking a break from everything?
No, yeah. I just took a break. Like, I'd already had a bit of stuff written for Kannon anyway, because we were supposed to battle at the 6th BW, or maybe it might have been the 5th BW. It was after the Battle of Villun that year anyway. Was it the 5th or 6th? Can't remember anyway.
Yeah.
So so then it fell through. So that's when it got rearranged for April Fool's, man. So yeah, well, just like I said, I've just been watching and studying and just learning how to use wordplay and I'll break battles down and stuff. So I think it showed, man, when I came back from Kannon. I feel like my writing was just like tenfold from anything previously.
Your first international at Maple Falls, as you say. Tony's there, Jem's there. His last battle was 4 years ago here, Big Kannon against Tenshu.
But when I brainstorm, I wage war, but the same forces overcame Sandy, so make sure your coast clear, cause tsunamis will leave USA's lying in a state ravaged with great damage, rain splashing, gales blasting and waves crashing, boats sinking and planes smashing. You can try to weather the storm. Shit, there ain't no safe passage through Lake Placid, you fucked. Look, you can try to escape manic, but you won't see this bitch prevail like an arranged marriage on a soul.
One of the very best, in my opinion, Raptor. I fucking adore Big Kannon.
Yeah, I do. I love him, man. I talk to him all the time, man. He's one of my favourites, Kannon.
Yeah.
I just don't think he gets the credit he deserves, man. I think he's better than a lot of people who of battlers who are in people's top tens. So,
yeah, he's astonishing, man. I mean, his JC battle is fucking incredible, man. Battled Mr. Mills, like, does
K-battles. Yeah. Big K-battles dope too.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, he's fucking awesome. I mean, Big Kannon has a certain type of writing. I think there's no surprise why he goes down well in Don't Flop. Like, he just has that sort of intelligent punching style, really winning character.
Yeah, he's just so versatile, man, as well.
Oh man, he can be deadly. Like, his tone of voice can be like so like terrifying, and then he can be really jolly and like funny.
Yeah, I love Kannon, man. I'm a big fan of Kannon.
So you begin, and a good visual here. You had a quick look in your messages and saw Big K in your comment box and thought you were given the best.
Yeah.
I mean, just very, very stuff. And then, with all due respect, it's minor to a man like a bar mitzvah. I mean, do wordplay, Raptor? Is that still viable?
I think it was for that bar because just because the actual punch wasn't. I thought it was good, man. A minor to a man like a bar mitzvah.
No, it's hard. It's hard, definitely, man. And like someone like Raptor, someone like Kannon, is it like surreal for you battling him? Because obviously he's battled so many big names and such a legend.
Yeah, he was on the day. Yeah, I think like you've seen how much I prepped for that battle. It made my performance was almost perfect, man. I think the first two was just next to perfection for my standards at that time. So you could see, man, that I'd put a lot into that battle, and it shows in the performance.
Yeah, the writing is just like, it's just how long it is and how detailed it is. Like, when I brainstorm, I wage war with the same force as Hurricane Sandy, and the whole tsunamis, ravaged with great damage, waves splashing, gales blasting, waves like you were really in the best possible way, quite over the top with your writing.
Yeah, but that was one of them schemes. Like the battlers I know, like where you're write one thing and like you say, like with how relevant the multis was, you know what I mean, with the waves crashing, gales blasting, planes smashing, boats sinking, you know what I mean. The more multis have kept coming, and I thought, what I use it like when it goes into Lake Placid, and you know what I mean, and fucking with the arranged marriage and stuff. The multis just kept coming with it, so I just kind of want ending, so I had to like kind of end it myself, and I probably could have kept it going for ages, but.
And then it culminates, as you say, you got to culminate in a punch, and won't see this bitch prevail. like an arranged marriage, which, you know, everyone goes crazy for, respectively. Have them man on board within half a round, like a skate ramp, is very nice as well. Straps from the waistbands, like, yeah, crazy, you know, hugely great round. And then Kannon begins. You know, he knew you were small online. Now he's seeing you in person. He's going to call you Rap for short.
Yeah, I love that bar.
He thought Tenchi was skinny and looking at you like, really, when do you motherfuckers eat? He asks. You look now malnutrition. God gave us the know-how, the wisdom to eat cows and fishes.
Crazy.
And he's like, that is a child's description. And, you know, it's just, and when he's like, but then it's heavy again. Felon on your application, there is no hire.
Yeah, fucking crazy bar. I love that bar.
Yeah, it's fucking insane bar. Ghostwriters, Dinosaur. It's like, okay, I'm not saying this bar's heavy, but the way he says, like, only write a poke at his spinal cord, like, he's sort of, his tone of voice sells it.
Sick. Yeah, because I think it means, like, because obviously he's when he's going to stab him, but I think it means, like, when he says poke out his dinosaur, then maybe that's Stegosaurus, maybe, because it spinal pokes out, maybe.
No, definitely. Total spitting on his face, natural disaster.
Yeah.
I
let it slide because it's Kannon.
If you, this is you in the second. If you say Big Kannon shoots people, you're a circus act.
Yeah, that's a fucking bar.
Yeah, that's hard, man. The first half of your sentence in capitals and the second in lowercase. The blasphemy stuff. And then I played dirty, accepting my fate early. I'm going to hell. Fuck it. It'll be a great journey. I mean, that is some of your coldest shit, man. Yeah,
lads, I didn't expect that to get the reaction it got there, to be honest. So it was mad.
Yeah, no, it was, you know, and just the sort of the gaps you take in your sentence, like, you know, this is the UK, like, excellent ending.
Yeah, because then things like that is like guaranteed reaction, like especially when you're battling like an American in England, you know, it's just guaranteed reaction because it's a UK crowd, so they're going to be like, yeah, fucking you know what I mean? So it's just like kind of a strategy thing to get the reaction at the end of the round, I suppose.
Kannon has to flip. You know, flips at the top of the second. You want to talk about my verse delivery? One word explains it all. That's versatility. I mean, talk to me about flips, Raptor. Like, you incorporate them, you know, quite often. Like, there's something you like to use.
Yeah, here and there. Only when I'm confident with it. Like, but you can flips are dangerous, man. Like you seen it with the Gemini rematch. I did a flip in the first, and it made me forget how my verse started. You know what I mean? So then I had to start my verse like well late into it from where I could remember it and stuff, you know, so they can be dodgy. But they're also deadly, man. They can also win rounds.
And we were talking about the name Raptor earlier, like, you know, and it does have its uses for flips, etc. Since they have a dinosaur, let's see how many punches land before time.
Yeah, I love that. So you land before time.
Yeah, that's original. That's very original. It's Rapture. He want the god to come back. Bring a whole arsenal to Don't Flops a few mils with the shotty.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. Like it's like he's on top form.
That's it. Yeah, he is. He was that bad, man. I was so happy that he showed up, man.
Yeah, he's honestly, it's one of my favourite battles. Like, easily, like, he is creator. Burn this faggot city down, Sodom and Gomorrah. And like.
Mockery of horror.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that mockery of horror line is outstanding. And his analysis, like, I know there've been bars about you before about, you know, you're shotty, lol, but I think he probably does it best.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I think he was the first one to actually like fully do it.
Right.
Like to go in on that. So, but he did it crazily, man. He did it, like you say, so authentically, and it was great, man. That battle, I was just so happy that he did turn up and didn't take it light, and, you know, prep for it.
Yeah, and I mean, a great sort of you know, jewel in your crown, really, and Don't Flop that battle as a whole.
Yeah, it's my personal favourite battle of mine. I think it's my best ever performance, personally.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible battle. You know, you should be very, very proud of the quality. And it's 20 minutes of just utter, like, you know, excellent writing. You know, a great clash, like everything you want from an international clash. You know, on Don't Flop, and you know, it's a fantastic battle. But this really is, as you said before, like, you know, pushing in the direction of the, you know, crazy heights that you hit. But just before we get onto the Tony battle, you teaming up with Briggsy against Tally and Shocks the Rebel. Not the highest view battle of yours, 32,000 unfortunately at the moment. Definitely watch this battle. What are your abiding thoughts with this?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Obviously, like, I fucking Briggsy my brother, man, so it was great to do a battle with him, and I thought it was a good battle. Like you say, like, views are a bit low in it, but I thought it was a good battle.
Yeah,
on both sides.
And I mean, Shocks at that time, he wasn't like the Shocks of, you know, he wasn't the champ of Don't Flop or anything like that, but he was still, him and Tally, you know, still quite a cool matchup, them two together.
Yeah, it was, man. It was, like I say, because it was like High Rise v Mosh team. So it was a good battle. I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, way back when on the God, that was a long time ago. That was 2015. So, you know, a few times has passed. But Tony battle, you versus Tony D. Sunburn 2 was a great event altogether. Really, you know, building up to it, all the matchups, you know, were kind of well presented as well. And I remember this being announced and this kind of, you know, the absolute hype. Like, you know, you versus Tony at this time. What a storm!
Yeah, it was, man. Like, I went into that battle, like, as well, like, heavy underdog.
Yeah.
Nobody thought I could, like, even get near him, you know. But like I said, I think that was when I was at my hungriest moment in battle rap.
I said you ain't a real champion. Soul is. That's a battle that can stand toe-to-toe with any man in his moment. Not a fucking pussy too happy, relaxing and coasting his way through battling nobodies. And that was his logic with this battle. I'll take the rocket, the one still burning in the game. But see the shit that I've got, I'll bring a twist to the plot. Like a dead guy turning in his grave, I'm on a killing spree. Stacking heads like totem poles. For you, this certainly a space. So when I land a headshot, heads off you. The Kurgan of the stage, there can be only one. Now, just because I told you I don't read books, and I ain't book smart, don't think I'm some sort of a retard. You read books to see it through the author's eyes. I read people to see if they authorized them streets.
That was when I was the most focused. It was when I was, you know what I mean, it was when I wanted to write battle bars. I've never felt the same since the Tony battle. So yeah, like, to go into that battle, to have that battle for me, that was like the pinnacle of UK battle rap. You know what I mean, at the time, because there was no Luna Shotty, etc. But it was such a great name for me to have, and it was such a great opportunity for me to prove that I could hang up there with the best, you know. Yeah,
completely, man. Like, I have this, your performance in this is one of the best performances ever on Don't Flop. Like, you know, I know you were saying the Big Kannon battle before, but I think your stuff for Tony, like, you know, like, your pen is incredible in this.
Yeah, it's like I say, man, it was when I was hungry, it was when I was motivated, and it was when I was focused, you know, it was when I wanted to write battle bars, and like you say, it was just the lure of having Tony D there, you know, like, just makes you want to write even more, because, you know, when you get him, it's your shot, you know, you beat him, and, you know, you're there, you're guaranteed legend up there in DF, so.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I like the setup for this. Do you remember how it was done with the crowd, where there was like the barrier, and then Urs in front of the barrier, and there's just you three guys in the sort of centre?
Yeah, I love pit battles.
Yeah. It was, and like I say, huge event, loads of great battles went down at this one. You know, Crafty versus Jay Short was one that I always really enjoyed looking back at this event, and, you know, lots of other huge battles as well, such as Pedro versus Marlowe, you know, Arcade versus Tally.
Ogmios
Wizard, yeah, Yunnan Shuffle, Lefty and Big J versus P Soldier and Matter.
It's one of the best events I've been on.
Yeah, it's a crazy event, actually, looking back, you know, really strong event. And, yeah, Tony begins, ask him, you know, if he thinks he can win, don't care, they call him top tier. He's sawn off Shotty, he got a sawn off Shotty. Yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah,
I expected all that, though. I knew it was going to come, because I've, like I say, Kannon had just done it, so I knew. And it was because I was in Mosh team at the time, and he'd already battled Shotty and stuff, so I was expecting the Shotty angle, but he did it well.
Yeah, but I mean, Raptor, like, make no bones about it, really. I know a lot of people argue about this battle, but you definitely won this battle. I think it's ridiculous that you lost. I think it's embarrassing watching it back. Just because, like, I know a lot of people don't care about judging decisions, and I get that, and I'm not kind of stamping my feet over it. But just if you're going to be fair enough and you're going to, like, be accurate about this thing, you just write more originally. And Tony just kind of does get stuck in quagmires sometimes. Like, we get another Columbine line, which is fine, getting schooled while and killing you, but we've kind of we've explored this area.
Yeah. I think I have a little moan when he says that bar as well. I think it turns like something like, come on.
Yeah, come on, bruv. Like, yeah. Come on, Unk. Yeah. But no, all respect to Tony, of course. Like, I'm a huge Tony fan, but, like, I just, whatever. Maybe I'm just a bit of a stickler for this. But you go with the sort of, I've said this before, Raptor, with battlers, like, one of the deadliest commodities is just to have honesty, just to point out truths in battling that you can't really deny. So you talk that, okay, so, Tony didn't deserve to be the champ sort of thing, and how he got there is literally by beating massive people like Seuss and Adam the Rapper. So, this kind of like, did you take a while to think up this strategic approach, or?
Yeah, it was like kind of when I was like researching him and stuff. So I want to realize that, like, hang on a minute, you've not actually battled, like, compared to the people who other people have battled to get there. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, hang on a minute, that's how bad like Don't Flop was when you become champ in it, like, kind of thing, because they wouldn't even get a sniff at the contention of the title of people he's battled. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, but it was all just like kind of falling into place. Like I said before, with the multi stuff, it was all everything just kept falling into place. That's why it goes on for so long. Like, but yeah, I thought it was a great way to open the battle.
Definitely, and like you look, even when Tony was delivering his first, you were looking him straight in the eyes. You were kind of like standing in the spot. You looked very determined.
Yeah, like I say, man, it was when I was the most hungriest in my career in battling. So I wanted it, I wanted to be the best. I wanted the championship. I wanted, I wanted to make history. And as you see, man, it was just nothing phasing me at all that day. I had a game plan, and I just wanted to stick with it.
You said that you accused Tony the First of giving UK rap its most embarrassing moment.
Yeah, well, I think if you go representing somewhere with your title and you choke all 3 rounds. I think it's pretty bad. Again, all respect to Tony, of course. Huge love for Tony D, but the real deal performance, it's quite bad. Well, it's bad for Tony's standards, because Tony is, quite frankly, one of the best battlers to ever come out of this country. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I just thought he'd have done better. But like I said, we all have our bad days. I'm not slating Tony or anything like that. But yeah, like you say, because it was so unexpected. I think that's why it's so remembered. I think if someone else had run over and done that, it'd have been long forgotten about. But because it was someone held in such high regard in the UK, it was like it's a remembering point now for the Canadians and Americans and stuff.
Yeah, I guess if you put if you think about it, let's say Pat Stay, before the Tony battle, comes over and does like a Tony real deal, like chokes 3 rounds against whoever he battles, Shotty or something. He'd be like, oh God, it would be quite a stain, I guess. And you couldn't just move past it. So, even though we just think about, oh yeah, but, Tony versus Shotty or, Tony versus Ilmac or whatever, they have that stuck. But regardless, it's something for him to be attacked on. Obviously Shocks mentioned it as well. So everyone kind of has to have their little go on it. But lots of good stuff from you here. Shit that I got, a twist in the plot, like a dead man turning in his grave.
Yeah, I love that part. I kind of stumbled the turning in his grave part, so it kind of like took the conviction out of it, man. So, but other than that, man, I love the bar.
Read books to see through it, the author's eyes. Read people to see if they're authorized. And like the way you say, read books to find bars. I read books behind bars.
Yeah, facts.
But I just like the sort of the laconic, clean way that you do it, man. Like, and just like I've never seen you. It's such a punch fest from you in so few bars.
Yeah, it's like I say, I was just determined, man. I was well rehearsed. I was ready for it. So
And I just like the way you phrase stuff, like, you know, almost reminds me of QP, a fin to give with a white tip like a reef shark.
Yeah, I thought it would have got more reaction, that, to be honest. But yeah, I love that bar, personally.
A bar that I think slept on in your first as well. My page shows all signs of a star like horoscopes.
Yeah, I think it's been done a couple of times, but not as well as that. I'm sure I've seen someone comment on it, someone saying something like that. But yeah, I thought I'd done it very well though.
They said battling him is insanity. Cool. I want that body tone.
Yeah, fire.
That, I mean, I guess for those that don't know, insanity is like a workout, isn't it?
Yeah. A workout DVD.
Yeah. That is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. I remember hearing that and just really blown away by that one. That is really good. And I mean. Sometimes, Raptor, there's certain crutches that battlers fall onto, and Tony does one in the second where he schemes through PG battlers. It's like, it's just kind of irrelevant to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, T-Toff, this rookie versus vet, it is quite a hard punch, to be fair, but...
Yeah, I think people just don't like doing schemes on names off a card, though.
Yeah.
Anymore. But it was well done. But like you say, I think it just takes everything out of it because it's so played out.
And your second, you talk of like Tony not picking up his phone for hours.
Yeah, he didn't. And like we should have battled on a URL, and he kind of like just duck flexing it, like, and just wasn't answering his phone or nothing like that. So yeah, that's where like that it all came from.
Undersoul like comfy sneaks and undersea like submarines.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like that. It was who was it now? I can't remember. I was arguing with over the fucking undersoul bit though. You know, undersoul like comfy sneaks, and someone saying something about, I can't remember what it was, man. I was saying, "Oh, that's fucking nice. Put an undersoul in your fucking shoe, and it's comfy, innit? Shut your fucking mouth." What are you on
about? Yeah, Tony in his third find the first set of raptor bones that aren't fossilized. You know, nothing too crazy from him really, and you know,
I like that though, because there was a whole build up to it. You know, I mean, in fact, Lynn's cut off, then it ostracized, then tossed aside, cops are fine. It was all the motives leading up to it. Man, I like that, mate.
And then your third is great as well. Fire shots from behind doors like Oscar Pistorius is like, wow, that is perfect.
Yeah, man. There was a following thing as well, man. It was just fucking when I said like when a motives, man, when you're writing, you'll know when you get them two motors and you just think fuck off out. You know what I mean? When it's Oscar Pistorius and shot in Pretorio and fucking hell, you can't write stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was just perfect. So I expected that to get the reaction it did, though. To be fair, so if it didn't, I'd have been fucked because I was like kind of relying on it.
I mean, yeah. How could it not? How could it not? And you know, the judging is all of the judges seem kind of, you know, slightly torn. You know, Big Sis thinks that, you know, you're going to be the future champ, but gives it to Tony for being calm as fuck. Wizard gives it to him as well. Ogmios wants to video judge. Impact gives it to yourself. And then when the verdict is finally called, you seem clearly quite annoyed, quite vexed by the decision.
Yeah, I thought I'd done enough to win the battle, though. 100%. I thought I'd 100% won the battle.
Would it have changed anything if you had won?
Yeah, I don't think my name would have been as hyped up as much. I think the robbery, as per se, fucking like caused a lot of hype for people to watch the battle, like worldwide, like kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because it was the vocal point of the battle was like, nah, how did he not win? You know what I mean? Some people went, nah, let me see it, and then like, yo, fucking hell, you know. So it was just like kind of a chain reaction, and it just you know what I mean, just took off. But I think I think if I'd have won the battle, people would have been like, oh, you didn't beat Tony at his best or this or whatever. You know what I mean? I think it would have been downplayed. Me personally.
Yeah, no, it was. It definitely provided a spark. You know, the majority of the comments, as I say, almost at 180,000 views, which is very, very good. You know, definitely deserving of the quality you show, and in the same month in upload time, I don't know quite where it was in terms of the timeline of battling, you go over to Scrambles for money, which you would go to for quite a few times coming up. First one's against Jake Baker. Talk to me about the invitation, what the country's like.
Well, it came along, Troy Daniels from King of the Dot messaged me, because he'd already been trying to bump me for King of the Dot for like the year before that, but because of the visa issues, we'd never gone through any discussions. But anyway, he hit me up in my inbox and he said, message a page called Gjonaj Grimes, because he was on a page, so he couldn't message someone until they'd messaged him, you know what I mean? And he said, like, he wants to put you for South Africa, and I told him, I put the word in, I told you, him about you. So I've got speaking to Jin and that, and like, yeah, he's like, kind of said, like, we want you to battle our champion, Jake Baker. We negotiated the fees and the flights and stuff, and yeah, and then it was all locked in. But yeah, I fucking love Joburg, man. I love the city. I love the people. I love Scrambles for Money, man. It's just an amazing scene out there. Like the fans, the love and the passion is something else. It's like even between the battlers and stuff like that, man. It's crazy, crazy good out there. Like yeah, crazy.
I mean, like, how would you describe the events as being different from Don't Flop events? Like, what's majorly different?
The atmosphere, for one, like, it's crazy. It's like, it's hard to explain. It's just a different aura and atmosphere you pick up in the room, and the reactions are crazy. Every single person in the room is just hanging on to the next bar, you know what I mean? No one's interested in talking at a bar or anything like that. They just want, you know what I mean? They show nothing but love, and it's crazy, man. I love battling over there.
And next battle on Don't Flop was against Pass, which, I mean, not a bad battle, but it's not kind of one of your most remembered ones.
No, yeah, I feel the same with that. And Pass is one of my favourites of all time. But I think that we kind of was both underwhelming from the pair of us. Like, so it's one of the battles I always like look back on that and just think like, yo, fucking hell, we could have gone. You know what I mean? That could have been a classic. But yeah.
And Izzy Gibbs as well, who obviously he's kind of doing massive things at the moment. You battled him, quite a heated one, that one.
Yeah, it was. On that day though, I was mad ill as well. I was full of the flu, and that's why I kept losing my breath during my bars and stuff, because I couldn't breathe. I was on pure medications, like all the Obersoil. I was covered in Obersoil and drinking that Cavonian all day, and because I had no voice and that, so it was a hard battle for me to get through. And that's what got me annoyed, because of how powerful his voice and his aggression is, and his projection. You know what I mean? I had to match it because I couldn't. It was making me angry. You know what I mean? So I'm screaming into the mic and into the crowd and stuff. So yeah, it kind of like stemmed from there. And plus he kept like shouting over me verses and stuff and that, which was annoying me. So,
and I mean, the next big battle we're going to get into is, of course, you versus Soul. But I mean, how long did you know before the battle went ahead that you were going to be given the title shot?
It was around February. I think I had about 7 or 8 weeks, alright. But like just like 3-4 weeks before the battle, I split with my fiance at the time. Right. So I had to come back to living with my mum back then. So like I was in a bad place, like all the foundations of my life had fell through. So I didn't write for the battle till like 6 days before it. You know what I mean? I was in a very bad place, and it shows in the battle. It's just not the same Raptor Warriors that anyone had ever seen, like especially on the form had been in with the Kannon, Tony Pass and stuff like that, you know.
Listen, because I can be a subtle dude, but you can easily disrupt my tune if you make one step in the wrong direction, like Buster moving. If trouble brews, I'll cut the dude. Blades so like footy boots, jack him up. He'll get raised like woman's shoes. You can't rap like this. So, you can't rap like this. You can't rap like this. Because his Viewpoint 16 was a fucking travesty. Embarrassing. You can't rap for shit. Fuck you for giving us all AIDS with a rapping rhythm. Fuck you, man, because he tagged you in.
Everyone expected me to win. Everyone wanted me to win, but me, I just wasn't winning. I should have genuinely pulled out of the battle because I was in no fit state to do it, but I couldn't do it. So I just went ahead with what I had wrote, and I wrote my third like the night before it and that. I got super wasted at the event and stuff, and I just like kind of blew all the hard work in a space of a couple of hours, really.
And do you remember you used to use the hashtag building up, hashtag and the new?
Yeah, well, that's like you say, we got to sell about, man.
Yeah.
That's what kind of
course.
that's how you gain fans in perspective. It's how you gain hype and attention, and rather than just sitting there and being quiet, man, it shows how you become fan favorite, and that by interaction with the fans, man. The fans love it. It makes it exciting. It makes it the spectacle for them. Then just little things like, with the back and forth and all. You've seen it already with the jamming shocks thing. Look how hype it's bubbling up nicely. You know what I mean? I think it's how you sell a battle, in it. You know what I mean? That's why people shouldn't ever count serious. You know what people say, what battlers say to each other before a battle. You know what I mean? Because it's just to sell the battle, as I say.
Definitely. And I mean, you begin. Soul, as the champion, gets to pick who goes first, and he picks for yourself. How are you feeling? Because quite a lot of people there, and a lot of pressure. A title match.
Yeah. Well, I was just low on confidence, man. Because I knew I wasn't going to win. But the material I had, you know what I mean? I knew it was nowhere near strong enough to go at Soul. So I was kind of already lost in my head, but I just tried to get what I could have done. So the first round I've managed to get through all right, but then Soul's first was that good, and just fucking destroyed everything inside me. It really got in my head, and then it shows when I'm snapping in during his round and stuff, and showing bad sportsmanship, and when I was super angry and I lost all composure. I mean, you know what I mean? It just shows in the rest of the performance from there. But it was only because of how good his first was as well. It really knocked me straight off my feet, and it was I knew from that moment on, this is going to be horrible. You know what I mean? I knew after that first round, I knew how brutal it was going to be. So it was hard to stand there knowing I've got about another 8 minutes of this fucking shit. Jesus fucking Christ, wow. So then I had to kind of fight back as much as I could, but I knew I couldn't fight back with what I had. I was bringing a knife to a gunfight. So it was a difficult battle for me to get through, man. It really was. It was because, geez, he was incredible. He was beyond good. I think it's the best ever don't flop performance ever in all the history of the fucking channel. Me personally.
Well, I mean, he doesn't even, at the start of his round, he doesn't even speak to you. He speaks to the crowd.
And it's a perfect strategy move. Absolutely perfect way. Because of all the shit and all the flack he was getting and all the, all the discredit he was getting after all the incredible battles he'd given, for a bit of bad form. So Soul's a very, very smart guy, man. Soul he's incredible at not even just with writing his battle rap, it's the things he thinks of and how effective and strategical certain parts of rounds are and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So he knew in his head, I've got watch this, bam, fucking, was it the little 12 bars against him for every single fan straight in his pocket. It was incredible. And then he turned around then, ready for the onslaught, knowing he had a full army behind him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Game plan for this rowdy bitch. I'm Holly Holmes, boxing coach. And he just goes deep with the personals as well. The whole string vest, see-through wife beater.
Yeah. Kind of pissed me off, man. Because fucking, we stayed together in South Africa and that, you know what I mean, and we spoke about all this shit, you know what I mean. So he knew that it was just an angle what Quill used, and he just took it and ran with it from there and just did it a lot better, you know what I mean. But it's just all that it's not true. I've never lost contact with my daughter. I've never lost custody of my daughter, you know what I mean, and stuff like this. So but he's incredible. It don't matter whether it's the way he did it. It was just it's incredible. Can't think of any other word for it.
Yeah, the crowd reaction's insatiable. Most women tie the knot. It's the most romantic thing you do for them. His woman tied the knot in the bandages that you put her in. Just kind of reading it out loud doesn't sound so hard, but just the way the crowd
it was his conviction that first round. No one had ever seen Soul snap like that before. The way he delivered it. I mean, you think he'd hated the guts off me. The way he came to that battle is because that's what you do, man. That's why, as fans, man, you don't piss off a battler and give him something to fucking prove, because that's what happens.
And, you know, Soul has such a penetrating logic to him, where he basically attacks the way you end a round as being evidence of who you are. You rapping against the battler, I'm rapping against the human. That's why he says bitch at the end of the battles that he's doing, because he's such a bitch he has to pretend he's battling a woman.
Crazy.
It's like really all angle attack, like
powerful.
Yeah, very, very fucking powerful. And you know, a lot of people talk about your flip at the start of the second. I've hit a bitch and I won't hesitate to hit a bitch again. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, at this point, it was Raptor knew he fucked up.
Right.
Is what I kind of like worded it totally wrong, but I just went, yeah, fucking hell. That went down fucking mint, that, didn't it? That was like a kind of after how brutal his first round was as well, for them to fucking do that with a flip. That super like played in my head then as well, like, you know what I mean? It was so mad delivering in the next rounds, doing it. Because I thought, there's just nothing I've got in my head. I knew nothing in my second or my third could match what he just done in his first, you know what I mean? So I knew I had literally zero chance of winning that battle. So it was just like kind of a meltdown, like, I guess, like, yeah, it was a hard battle, man. It was an hard battle to get through.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some okay stuff throughout. He'll get raised like women's shoes.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know, if it wasn't like balls to cross the line like a rugby try.
Yeah, I like...
Yeah.
But it just wasn't nowhere near enough.
No.
Nowhere near enough punches or nowhere near enough strong enough. It was just incredible, so that battle. I think even if I came up with my best performance, I don't think I'd have beat that performance. So, but you know, I'd have liked to have made it a classic title match rather than a walkover like that. Because it just like kind of, it was a shame, man. It kind of like just erased all the hard work and all the great battles I'd put in and everything I'd done, you know what I mean? And I just ruined it in one battle.
I don't think you ruined it at all, but I you know...
Yeah, because me, you know what I mean? I did all that to get the title, not to fall at the last hurdle, you know what I mean? Especially in such a bad way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, it was like kind of like, yeah, fuck's sake, you know, one of them. But yeah, I think it's just like you say, even if I got to that and lost, the loss wasn't the thing. It was the mannerism of the loss. Like, it was just, you know, it's a bad way to lose for me.
Everyone would have lost to Soul's rounds in this battle, though.
Yeah, but just like I said, if the performance, if I spat me 20 rounds like that and lost, then I could have walked happy, you know. But knowing that I just wasn't nowhere near as good as it could have been, didn't give myself a good account at all, you know what I mean, when it mattered. That's what kind of like lives with me till this day still, kind of thing.
But I mean, you know, nonetheless, insatiable battle, again, as I say, mostly because of Soul to a certain extent. But Raptor, you still delivered. It just that Soul, as I say, was like a hurricane in this battle, irresistible. You know, the sort of backed into more corners than Lara Croft, and just the inventiveness, the whole sort of you and I verse stuff that he did, champ out this world, Orion's belt,
the Schumacher stuff,
the Schumacher stuff, the snake emoji stuff.
Everything he said, basically.
Yeah. Open up with friends, run scrubs into the ground, and at E4. I mean, just heavy, you know, real sharp stuff here. And just, you know, there's some good writing from you, but just Soul just kind of outclassed. He has the breakdown as well. Professor Ross Geller on teaching Raptor lessons.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then he talks about your losses, and then the Sleepy G section.
Yeah. It's like I say, it's the angles he thinks of and how he attacks them and executes them to perfection at times, man. It's incredible.
And I mean, you know, afterwards, like, was your confidence shaken? Did you know, were you just happy to keep battling, or?
Yeah, well, I wanted to come back. Obviously, I had the younger, and then it's like, yo, I need to come back, and then that's when I battled Shocks. I think it was about 5 or 6 weeks later. And I even though I lost the battle, the performance was a lot better than I'd just given against. So it was a win for me, man. I did what I intended to do, and I gave a decent account of myself, considering what I'd just been through with soul battle. So.
And that was a 1 rounder. How did you like that for a change?
Yeah, I wanted to do it. I actually wanted to do a 1 rounder. And I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed 1 rounders. To be honest, I think they're all right. It's the same amount of material basically. But I just like the fact that you can just go with my style. I think it suits me better as well because I've got the ability to hold the crowd that long, and you know what I mean, and keep you entertained for that long. So.
And someone like Shocks, so good to see him as champ, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Shocks, man. And yeah, the way he improved in such a short period of time was crazy. From the old battle, and he just went up, and it was just great to see, man. I love the underdog story, man. And he did what I didn't do, man. You know, so it's all credit to him. And yeah, he's crazy. I think he'll beat Jam.
Wow, really?
I think Shocks will beat Jam.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I think if Shocks was the first person to beat Gem as well, that would be oddly poetic. But
save the file. Shocks will beat Gem.
Jesus Christ, but yeah, Gem was. We'll get to Gem. Great. I mean, Gem, yeah.
Gem's great, but I don't think he punches as well or as when it hits Shocks' his haymakers, the end rounds.
True.
You know.
True. And just
the frightening thing is, he's just getting better and better and better and better. Do you know what I mean? From the performance from me, and then to Tony, and then to Salt, he's just better. Nothing phases him. He's just in his own little bubble, knowing that he's just focusing. He's just battling his last battle, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and it's scary, and the rate of progression, man, it's scary.
And it'll be his first battle as reigning champ as well. So just sort of, reflecting the title and just.
I think he'd put the title up if it was like if Don't Flop was on when it's moving that. I think Shocks would have done it for the title if Jem wanted it, obviously.
I mean, yeah, I said it to Danny when I had him on recently. Like, if this is the last battle of Don't Flop to a certain extent, then there couldn't be one better, really. Like, it is going to be an absolute high point for them to end on, if necessary.
Just wish Tony D's Soul was on the same card.
Yeah.
Just been beautiful.
If there was, that's right. If there was going to be a true send off, but So the getting into the following battles, then you battled Shuffle, which is a bit of a more left field from your normal type of opponent. Was this tough to write for? Yeah,
Shuffle, because I knew there was no way I could outwit him or outsmart him. But I thought there's one thing he can't do to me, it's out-rap me.
Yep.
So I just went with 3 rounds of just rap. And just thought that's the only way I can, try and make it debatable so the rap sort of fans will maybe sway with me, which a few did. So, but yeah, Shuffle again is incredible, man. He's not someone in the battle, but like the main event fell through and it was up like, yo, like, can you do this? Fucking please, as a favour, like so we just like both kind of took it. And but yeah, it's a great battle, man. It's one of my favourites. Shuffle's second and third, and that, and just a stroke of genius as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. What did you think of the concept round?
I loved it.
Yep.
Yeah, both of them. The Parents even one was the best one though for me.
Yeah, it was. It was good, and yeah, that was altogether a good battle. But I mean, Sunburn 3 was a bit kind of compared to Sunburn 2, a bit sparser, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit meh, to be honest. Like you say, compared to the one before, I don't think it would have been hard to top though, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, things move in cycles, so yeah, it's inevitable. And then you go to battling, one of the biggest names in Don't Flop in recent years anywhere, Gjonaj. Very cool to see you guys being matched up.
Yeah, well, we've been waiting to happen for like a year or so it was great to finally get the battle locked in, man, because Gjonaj was like is one of my favourites. I asked for that battle, so to get it was great, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, this was at 8th birthday. Someone like Gjonaj, to sort of test your pen against. Was there a lot of prep?
I think we had like 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was enough time.
Had you watched much of his battles, or?
Yeah, I'd watched them all. His JC battle, fucking his Danny Myers battle, his Proving Grounds battle with Gutter, his Disaster battle, his Psychosis battle. I'd watched nearly enough of them all.
He's dope, right?
Yeah, he's one of my favourites.
Yeah, he was fucking
I
great.
love Gjonaj.
And
absolutely.
And what did you think about your guys' battle?
I enjoyed it, man. I think it's a good battle. I think it's so slept on, man. I think it deserves a lot more views than it's got. I think it's a good back and forth.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's got 60,000, but I mean, Gjonaj commands a large audience. I just don't understand Raptor when these battlers who have big native audiences come to Don't Flop and they don't get the views.
It's because of the Don't Flop beef at the moment.
Wow.
That's what I think's totally affected the views. Is that a lot of Canadians and Americans won't follow it because of
Jesus Christ. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Over there, so I think a lot of them just refuse to watch it out of loyalty to King of the Dawn, URL and stuff like this, and this thing so they just don't fucking fuck with the battles no more. So I think it kind of affected it a lot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and yourself, have you been offered? Obviously, you've gone overseas quite a bit, but King of the Dart, has that ever been put to you?
Yeah, a lot of times I've just never done it enough to go and get my visa. So I had mass free. I was approached by Nakaya for the mass free card back in February.
Shit, that's crazy.
So yeah, I was offered Blackout, the one where Quill went. I was offered that before Quill. Guerrilla Warfare, Kannon tried to book me for that. Australia, Don't Flop USA, but I've just never tried to get in Canada, America, or the States, or fucking Australia. So. But I've been advised that I will get in, even though with a criminal record, because I've not got certain charges and because it's been a period of time. I just need to do a bit more than the usual. So I'm going to get onto it 100% because I'd love to battle King of the Dot.
Okay.
I think that'd be the pinnacle then. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, we just got a few. Just before we get to the next battle as well, a few questions. I just asked on the Twitter at battlerapresume any questions for Raptor. The first one is by Rudy Kinsella. He asks, without sounding harsh, I'd like to know why Raptor loses so often, considering how good he is. It's really strange.
Well, like I said, that is just down to battling too much. I kind of lost the love for it and the motivation and the hunger that I once had for it. Like what I think back in 2015, I personally think I went the year unbeaten. Well, even from the end of it, I think Villun, the 2-on-2 against Tally Shocks, Kannon past Tony, I think I won every battle.
Right.
So, and that was when I was hungry, and that was when I was at my peak in my career. And then when I lost the title match, that's what kind of set the slope down, and I was just kind of battling for the money. That's why I was taking the battle. I wasn't prepping enough. I wasn't even asked what I was right, you know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure I had enough material for the rounds. And so on, and it's just been that way ever since, man. And it's just affected me so bad. I think Gjonaj was only battled that when I kind of showed up a bit, but even against the Gem rematch, there's loads of battles where after since where I've just not shown up, man. It's just all down to lack of motivation, lack of hunger for battle rap anymore,
Pizzle asks, who are your top 5 grime MCs of all time and at the moment?
I don't really listen to much grime, but at the moment. Well, I won't even do that anymore. I'll just say my favourite 5 grime MCs are Gets, Wretch 32. Who else would I put in mind? Wretch, Gets. I'd throw fucking Dizzy in. I'd throw. Who else would I throw in? Fucking hell, I don't really say much grime.
Right. But I mean, yeah, good to hear anyway. A good selection of those. And finally, Nazmal asks, I mean, we sort of touched on this before, but what's the battle scene in Johannesburg like, and how is the crowd different to the UK one?
Oh man, it's crazy over there. I advise anyone to get a chance to go over there, man. It's absolutely crazy. The events, the vibes, and everything about it, man. It's a beautiful it's just an incredible place, man. I love going.
And Josiah Matrix says to talk about the EP you guys are doing.
Yeah, man, we've been planning it for months, man. Like, but obviously we're busy. And we've both been busy with stuff and that. But we're finally gonna get cracking on it, man. Like, we're just gonna do like a little 7 or 8 track EP of me and Josiah. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Josiah's one of my favorite rappers. I love it, everything about. He's a top guy. And I think our shit, man. I think it'll bang. I think the fans will love it. So I'm just looking forward to get cracking on it.
Awesome, man. And next battle we get to is the Yunnan clash.
You about this shit? So shut the fuck up or sit the fuck down. Cause you ain't so fucking tough now. Say that shit you said on Twitter. Once you're so fucking vet, you get shut down. You are a little fucking bitch. And you face to face, you stand there with a shut mouth. Never once have you stuck around to me. You know you're a bitch. When the rate of him getting punched out is higher than his punch card, man. This is battle rap, bitch. No, you are battle rap, bitch.
Which, fair to say, there's a little bit of a culture barrier with you guys in the crowd.
Yeah, I think it was, but man, like I said, that was another bad performance. Where I just gone over for the money and just to fucking prove a point, basically. Like I knew I wasn't gonna win the battle with what I'd written, but I knew what I'd written was just like harsh and offensive enough to like get my point across, basically. But yeah, I think it kind of like I ruined that battle though, man, because I think it could have been a classic battle. Like on Don't Flop when it was like if not now, obviously, but. I think, yeah, it was a wasted battle, really. But that was another incredible set of Berlin. I didn't expect so many fans there. Like, it was ram-packed out the arena. That was another one. Great vibes, great event. Jolly J, top guy. Yeah, so I enjoyed the battle for seeing the city Berlin. But other than that, yeah, I'm just not many fun memories of it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like there's loads of people there, which is really cool, and it's got a certain like hipster vibe to it, and kind of young sort of like I like the setup of don't let the label you for sure, but just not as kind of explosive. Say as something like You versus Dialect, which I mean again I guess is another loss.
Yeah, it's another bad performance. Like I say, I've just not been the same since.
Raptor, what's happened, man?
Just battling too much too soon, man. Yeah. I've done like fucking 30 odd battles in like 4 years or something like that. Well, less than that. What have I done? Since Don't Flop 2014.
Yeah, there's 36 battles.
Yeah, for 36 battles, you know what I mean, in fucking 3 years. It's nearly a battle a month.
Yeah. It's
plus while having personal issues and stuff like that, it's hard. I'm doing 9-5, having a daughter, and so to do it so much, it's just affecting me love for battle rap. It's affecting me, my motivation for it. It's just it's hard, man. It feels like a chore to write for a battle, but like I said, I get paid, so but that's what kind of like it stems down to. But I should have had a break a long time ago, man, and I just refreshed, but. I just couldn't because I always needed the money because at the time I wouldn't be working and I'd get offered fucking good money to come and do this battle, so I'd just go and do it. Not even caring about the win or the loss or anything. Just go, do my thing, get my money and go, kind of thing. But yeah.
Is there anyone left? Like, I appreciate you're sort of winding down now. Is there anyone left that you'd really like to battle?
I'd battle Sensor. I always wanted to battle like an old school legend like that. And O'Shea, man.
That'd be dope.
I want to end my career on O'Shea, man. I've always wanted to just do a fun battle. I think me and O'Shea just get off our tits and just do a battle. It'd be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, O'Shea'd be down for that. I mean, I could see King of the Rolls booking that, maybe.
Nah. Dub Scandal, man.
Dub Scandal, yeah.
Their crowds are amazing. Fucking, I went to that event, the Dub Scandal chef one, man.
Right.
And it was fucking the best event I've ever been to. How funny it was, and it was just incredible. My stomach was in bits the next day when I went home because I've been laughing so much. And man, it was incredible. And I just love the league as a whole. They do everything for free and all that. So I just said I'd do it for them,
That's great, man. That's great. And I've just seen on Verse Tracker altogether, you've just broke 2 million views.
Well, fucking hell, it was on it.
Yeah, that is crazy. Average 55,000 views a battle, which is insane as well, man. Got a wonderful back catalogue. Like, are you ever going to stop, or are you just going to keep doing the odd one here and there?
Yeah, no, the plan is to fully stop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want this year to be my last year about it.
Right, okay.
If everything goes to plan.
Okay. So we'll wrap up with a few quick-fire questions, Raptor. The first of which, your favourite Don't Flop battle?
Of mine, or
no, just any.
Zayn Azrai versus Els.
Good choice. What, you meant to battle Els? Didn't he mention you or something?
Yeah, that's I didn't. That's when I went to no show.
Right.
And Briggsy battled him instead and bodied him.
Right. What about King of the Dot? Your favourite King of the Dot battle?
The one off the top. I think not loads of King of the Dot battles, but don't know. Off the top of the head, it's an hard one off the top of the head.
What about? No, it's all good, man. What about URL?
I don't really watch much URL, but the one, if I said that, the one of my favourite, if I have, is fucking Chilla Jones JC.
Right, yeah, insane. Yeah, so good. Any other battles then that you just really like from any leagues?
I mean, yeah, there's loads, but I was trying to think of ones off the top there, but to name what I love, but yeah, there's fucking loads, man. Kannon JC. I love Diz Pat. I love Pat Marv 1. I love Shotty Ass, obviously. I love Tony D. Yunnan.
Oh, yeah.
It's pure battles, man. But like, I don't really watch much battle rap anymore, though, to be fair.
And final two non-battle rap related questions. First one, your favourite film?
Favourite film? Fucking hell, I'm one off the top of the head when it's hard. This I was going to tell him 10 hours. Fucking hell, head's ruined. Law-abiding Citizen.
Law-abiding
Man on Fire.
Man on Fire. Oh, Man on Fire, classic. What about your favourite artist, musical artist or band, not hip-hop related?
Queen.
Yeah, of course, Queen, yeah. Well, Raptor, this has been great, man. I guess finally, how do people get at you? Like your Twitter, your music?
Yeah, everything's just at Raptor Warriors, Twitter, SoundCloud, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. Everything's just Raptor Warriors, man.
All right, dope, man. Well, yeah, I want to obviously everyone check out the battles that we've spoken about today. So many fucking crazy performances, especially as early Words of Weapons ones. If you haven't watched those, definitely watch them. They're quick, they're fun, they're definitely worth. I know you're going to give a little bit of monetization to Chronicle, but just swallow your pride. It's worth it. They're great videos. But yeah, please follow us as well at Battlerapresume. Comment below, tag it, ask about BRR if you want me to read them out in the episodes. Got the Patreon as well. Raptor, this has been joy, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.